Speed, I need this!
But earlier, explosions rocked Venezuela, knocked out power, and sent people running outside. He says,
damn, they firebombed their shit, my guy. Why did he capture his wife, though? What was the point of capturing his wife?
But it seems the bread.
Like, are we going to put these guys to death or something? Or what, we're going to lock them up here in America? It's kind of crazy. It's kind of crazy to take them out their own country. Alright, so what's up, everybody? Welcome to the channel. Now, before we start this reaction video, I have to say I'm not very big into politics, but I think after what I've been seeing blow up on the internet today, I'm going to have to start getting into politics, or at least educating myself on what the hell is going on in this country and what things are right and wrong to be done in this country, because this story that has been blowing up on the news, you already know what I'm talking about. And Trump has apparently invaded the country of Venezuela and captured the president and his wife. And now they're apparently being sent to New York City or whatever to be indicted. So we're going to put these motherfuckers on trial here. I don't know a lot of things about laws, but I know some things. And I don't know if that's right. So we're going to watch a couple different news outlets in this video and see what the hell is just going on, okay? So we got CNN first. I know they hate Trump. Okay, I know CNN hates Trump. So we're going to watch Fox right after. All right, so let's just see what the people that don't like him have to say, okay?
to CNN, I'm Victor Blackwell in Atlanta. The breaking news this morning, President Trump says the U.S. carried out large-scale strikes on Venezuela overnight. He says,
damn, they firebombed their shit, my guy.
Its president, Nicolas Maduro, and his wife, Celia Flores, have been captured and flown out of the country.
Why did he capture his wife, though? What was the point of capturing his wife? Did they have kids or anything? If so, it's kind of fucked up.
Attorney General Pam Bondi says both of them.
Granted, I know Nicolas Maduro is a dictator, okay? I watch some videos here and there about world history, and certain leaders are involved in certain countries, okay? I have heard that the president of Venezuela is a dictator, a harsh dictator, and he wasn't even rightfully elected. But I don't know. Don't hold me to that, okay?
Them have been indicted, and in a social media post says that they will, quote, soon face the full wrath of American justice. The Venezuelan vice president says that she has no idea where Maduro and the first lady.
So she has no idea where Maduro and the first lady are. Is she the de facto president right now, or what? Who the hell's running shit?
Are.
Ante esta brutal situación,
Faced with this brutal situation and this brutal attack, we do not know the whereabouts of President Nicolas Maduro and First Lady Celia Flores. We demand immediate proof of life from the government of President Donald Trump, proof of life for President Maduro and the First Lady.
President Trump says that he'll address the nation on the strikes from Mar-a-Lago later this morning. Right now, it's quiet.
It's later this morning, so he must have already did that. It's like 10 o'clock right now on the 3rd. He did this shit today, my guy. He did this shit this morning, my nigga. Jesus, I'm gonna have to go watch that public address he made.
The capital of Caracas, just hours after the strikes, but earlier, explosions rocked Venezuela, knocked out power, and sent people running outside.
Damn, did they hurt civilians doing this? Because they look like they firebombed the shit out of that fucking country, dog. And this is the capital, too, so that's probably where the most people live. Let's see, what's the most heavily populated area in Venezuela? Yep, it looks like the capital is the most heavily populated area in Venezuela. So I wouldn't be surprised if some civilians got hit with some stray bombs, my nigga. Like, Jesus Christ. Again, correct me if I'm wrong, but don't we need, like, congressional approval for stuff like this? People, please correct me if I'm wrong. I could be very wrong, but isn't this like an act of war or something? Like, what the hell is the president doing right now? What is this over? It has to be like oil or some shit or something. It can't be drugs or whatever, because I know I've seen shit on the news about him talking about, oh, all this fentanyl coming from Venezuela and Mexico and Colombia. Well, I don't even think he says Colombia, but dog.
And this strike was at La Carlota Air Base in Caracas.
Jesus.
CNN's Nick Payton-Walsh joins me now from London. Nick, we just heard from Issa Suarez speaking with some of her sources in country about the fear of what could come next because so many questions are unanswered.
Yeah, I mean, let's go through what we know has happened so far. Since about 1 a.m. local time, and these series of explosions rocked Caracas and other parts of Venezuela. Multiple helicopters seen in the air, and then clearly a U.S. Special Forces operation that removed Nicolas Maduro and his wife from what should have been their heavily fortified and secured premises in the capital there. Hard to understate quite what a move this is geopolitically by the Trump White House to remove the sitting president of a country which it considers to be a regional irritant. Startling.
I mean, haven't we done some shit like this before? Like, weren't they trying to like get Castro? Like, weren't they trying to kill Castro several times before? It like in the 2000s and everything. Like, what would they call it? Like a regime change? Don't they do that shit quite often in this country? I think if my U.S. history high school education serves me well at all, I think we did it with Vietnam, because that used to be split up into two countries, Northern Vietnam and Southern Vietnam. Yeah, it was. And then they turned those into like Cambodia and Laos or some shit. Like we did that, right? And then we did the stuff in the Middle East with killing Saddam Hussein. Didn't we appoint their next leader in, what was that, Iraq? Is it Iraq? I think it was Iraq. But yeah, isn't the U.S. been known to do shit like this before?
Successful, certainly. Daring, certainly as well. And also efficient, frankly, given what it seems the breadth.
Like, are we going to put these guys to death or something? Or what, are we going to lock them up here in America? That's kind of crazy. It's kind of crazy to take them out their own country and then lock them up in our country, Doug. I mean, boo, what the fuck are these niggas gonna do? What is Venezuela gonna do? Do they have the firepower to come retaliate against America? Are they gonna come to Florida and fuck some shit up or something? Dog, that'd be crazy. Not Floridians being attacked. It'd be crazy for them to even think about doing that, dog. You don't know shit about the United States. If you're brave enough to come to the United States and attack our citizens or try to come after our president, bro, you're gonna get blown a million ways to Sunday doing that shit, my guy. Fucking, what's the statistic I've heard before? For every American household, there's about like 100 guns. But there's so many guns in America that like for every American household, there could be like over 100 guns in each one of them households. That can't be a good thing to deal with if you're trying to invade a country, all right? Every civilian is strapped up. I have guns, my guy. So what can Venezuela do about this? I don't think shit. I don't think they can do jack shit about it. I mean, hey, I'm just glad I'm an American, okay? Living in the most powerful country in the world. Granted, I'm poor as fuck. But it could be worse, I see. I just can't imagine how these civilians feel and how how scared they are to just know that like at any moment their shit will get firebombed. I mean, granted, they got the president out, so what other reason does the U.S. have to come? What other reason does the U.S. have to come back to Venezuela and do the same shit? Maybe if the country is rebelling against what the U.S. is trying to do and they actively try to attack U.S. forces that happen to still be in Venezuela, are there still troops in Venezuela? There's got to be, right? They got to be some niggas hanging out at least on the outside of the coast or something. Gee, I don't know.
Comparatively of this operation and the impact that it is having. The Attorney General Pam Bondi hinting that the indictments in the Southern District of New York court will be the ones that Maduro faced. He had a $50 million bounty on his head seeking information.
$50 million bounty? Who put that bounty on his head? Who put that fucking bounty on his head? Yes, the United States had a 50 million I'm so used to One Piece. I was about to say 50 million berries. The United States had a $50 million bounty on Venezuela President Nicolas Maduro for information leading to his arrest, stemming from charges of narco-terrorism and drug trafficking, which culminated in his recent capture by the U.S. forces in Venezuela in January today. Who put that bounty on his head? Oh, it was Trump. It was Trump. That's hilarious. President Donald Trump initially placed a $15 million bounty on Venezuela President Nicolas Maduro in 2020 for alleged narco-terrorism, a policy continued and increased by Biden. So Trump and Biden. Biden upped that shit, boy. Biden upped it to 25 million and then later significantly raised it by Trump. Biden upped it to 25 million. Trump threw another 25 million on there to make it 50 million. So who gets the $50 million now? Dog, that'd be so hilarious. I mean, it won't be hilarious. It'd be kind of fucked up because it was just coming from taxpayer dollars, because this is a bounty that the United States president put on the president of Venezuela. So that'd be our money. Is Trump going to pay himself the $50 million? Essentially what I'm trying to say. Is Trump going to take 50 million of our own dollars and give it to himself for capturing Maduro? I bet he's not going to mention doing that. If he does, that nigga is he's just wilding at that point. He's just like, by the way, you know that bounty? I took that. That's my shit. If he does do it, he should at least divvy it up, between the entire military or something, which would make it like probably who knows, like $1,000 for each person. Like, come on, dog.
Lead towards his capture, and it may well be that the delay we're seeing since Trump's tweet in the early hours of this morning, his 74-word social media post that removed the extraordinary mystery, frankly, or the unresponsibility of exactly what was happening in the sky.
Ooh, look at this. This is one of their trucks. They got fucked up, boy.
Of Caracas, very quickly to explain that, as many as suspected, it was the US military behind this. It now appears that potentially the delay may be about transferring Maduro inside American soil for when President Trump addresses the nation about this move, extraordinary as it is. But I think once perhaps for Trump allies, the exhilaration of removing Maduro, who has been an authoritarian dictator behind violence against protesters and opponents, fades, the hard questions now must be answered about what to do.
God, this is just a video of some dude that's just going home or something. Like, I would fucking stop and park at that point. Like, I'm not gonna keep moving. It looks like he's getting closer and closer to all the action too. Like, Jesus. That is a lot of bombing. Okay, that is a lot of explosions we're seeing. So those niggas were down there getting fucking active, my dog. Like, I can't. Some civilians definitely died. The confirmed number, I don't think we're ever gonna get the accurate number of bodies that died in this whole tragic event. But we got Maduro, right? We gotta look up a video to see how the citizens of Venezuela feel about this.
With Venezuela's crippled economy. That has been the reason why Maduro has needed to be authoritarian. The mismanagement of basic things like inflation, food, Maduro be answered. Opponents for 13 years. Once that fades, the hard questions now must be answered about what to do with Venezuela's crippled economy. That has been the reason why Maduro has needed to be authoritarian. The mismanagement of basic things like inflation.
So I didn't know that like a bad economy requires you to be authoritarian. I mean, America's economy ain't doing so fucking hot. Is that the direction we're moving into? Trump said he would make it better. Okay, like, I'll be honest, right? I voted for Trump. I have not been too proud of that in the recent 7 months. Okay, or really since February. All right, bro's been tripping since he got back into the office. But if this helps the country in some sort of way, I can see it as somewhat a W, but is this even legal? Can Trump even really do shit like this, or what? What are we doing here? I think most people that voted for Trump did not expect him to be doing shit like this. Okay, we expected him to make the economy better and to do shit for Americans. And I don't know if this is actually something that is good for Americans or Venezuelans at that. I mean, the dude was a dictator. All right, this guy just said he was authoritarian. So I can't imagine him being a good leader. But yeah, whatever. Let's watch a little bit more of this, and then let's go to Fox and see what they had to say.
foodstuffs that permeates that entire country. What happens now to Venezuela's military, heavily hit during this brief series of strikes? I should point out the explosions we've been seeing in these videos, utterly alien to life in sleepy, peaceful Caracas, will have terrified the millions who live there. What is the likely course for Venezuela's political elite? Is indeed Delcy Rodriguez the successor? Does she immediately seek a détente with the United States to prevent a similar abduction in the middle of the night occurring to her? These are all urgent questions, and I think the key thing here is for the United States to have planned for the aftermath of Maduro with the same efficiency, detail and resolve as they clearly planned his capture and abduction. The US military, very good at this sort of thing, be it bin Laden in Pakistan, Zawahiri.
I mean, this administration is fucking crazy, but I can't imagine they would capture this guy with no other plan afterwards. Okay, they clearly had a plan for this. I mean, Trump has been after this nigga for 6 years now, okay, and they finally got him. I'm pretty sure they got some plan in place. But like I already asked that question, if if this was America, that happened to America, right? Trump got kidnapped. JD Vance has no choice but to be the active president. So why wouldn't she be the active president at that point? Whatever. I guess Venezuela is a different country, so I guess we have to ask that question. Maybe Maduro needs to die for her to be actually the active president. I don't know, but let's see what Fox had to say.
And we start with Lucas Tomlinson live in West Palm Beach, where the commander-in-chief has been spending the holidays. And Lucas, you've had great coverage overnight here. What else are we learning about this operation?
Good morning, Griffin. A daring operation in the pre-dawn hours and 2 a.m. local in Caracas, 1 a.m. East Coast time. U.S. Special Operations Forces flew in from off the coast of Venezuela.
Damn, this shit happened at 2 a.m., my boy. That woke up a lot of fucking kids. I'd be pissed off that shit woke up my kids in the middle of the night. This isn't funny, but you gotta make light of this in some way, shape, or form, right? Like, Jesus.
To snatch Venezuelan leader Nicolas Maduro and his wife. President Trump announcing the news on Truth Social a short time ago. I'll read it for our viewers. It says, quote, "The United States of America has successfully carried out a large-scale strike against Venezuela and its leader, President Nicolas Maduro, who has been, along with his wife, captured and flown out of the country. This operation was done in conjunction with U.S. law enforcement. Details to follow. There will be a news conference today at 11 a.m. at Mar-a-Lago. Thank you for your attention to this matter. President Donald J. Trump." And just before the assault force arrived at Maduro's compound, you can imagine the intelligence that U.S. intelligence agency had to have to know where to send the assault force to be able to locate and grab Maduro as well as his wife. You had numerous airstrikes throughout Caracas targeting Maduro's forces at a military base in Caracas as well as an air base, also Venezuela's largest port. And this is something President Trump has been threatening for months. It started with the drone strikes on the alleged drug boats in the Caribbean and the Eastern Pacific, over 24 to date, killing over 100 people. You saw it when U.S. forces seized, as a law enforcement matter, the oil tankers that the Trump administration said were associated with the Maduro regime. The goal is to cut off the
Okay, so, I forgot about that, where Trump fucking was bombing boats outside of Venezuela, and then one of them one day was a tanker, like an oil tanker, and then he got up on the news and somebody asked about what we were going to do with the oil, and he's just like, oh, we're just going to keep it, which is like, okay, we just ran their shit. Okay, all right. They're basically saying all the same shit as CNN said. We're going on a little bit more.
Drug and oil revenue stream for Nicolas Maduro. And for months, we've heard President Trump say that Maduro must go. And Maduro was very defiant. Despite repeated threats from President Trump, over 15 times, President Trump said he will be striking on land. Recall on Monday, we heard the president confirming that the CIA struck a target along the coast of Venezuela, destroying some of Maduro's drug boats. And again, this has been something that is not quite unprecedented. We saw in 1989 with the seizure of Manuel Noriega from Panama. This is something that the president
Really? This happened in '89 too with the fucking leader of Panama. Jesus Christ, America, man, we just do whatever the fuck we want, right? That's all we do, right? And that's all our American leaders do. Just go around fucking people's shit up as they please.
Wanted. We had not heard from President Trump. Almost shaved.
I mean, I imagine they only do that to like the worst of the worst leaders, right? Like we wouldn't just do that to any random leader. Like you got to be a fucked up dictator to get that kind of treatment from America, I'm assuming, or you got to have a lot of oil. I don't know.
Of Operation Midnight Hammer when those B-2s struck Iran. We haven't seen President Trump over the past 2 days. We heard from him on New Year's Eve. It was interesting. A reporter asked the president what his goal was for this coming year. He replied, peace. Well, for the President Nicolas Maduro, he didn't get that.
That's hilarious. Peace where? Here? Venezuela? The whole world? Peace where? This is a great way to start off 2026, right, guys? I mean, we're fine. We're Americans, all right? We're fine. Okay, Venezuela, I don't know. We got to see about that.
Now, we did hear from Maduro yesterday, guys. He sounded like he was almost pleading in an interview done from a car, believe it or not, saying he was almost begging the Trump administration for a deal.
Please, Pete, I need this.
So Maduro was begging Trump to please don't fuck with me. Please don't take me, bro. I'll give you as much oil as you want. Please. All right. We don't want no smoke, Mr. Trump. We don't want no smoke, Mr. President. That was Maduro from his whip. Dog. I think it's safe to say America is just being ran by some fucking gangsters right now. I don't know how to feel about that. I don't know if that's a positive or a negative thing. It is what it is. I mean, I can't be mad about it. I guess I voted for this shit, right?
He wants that oil back, and the company's in.
Well, and it's, excuse me, pretty clear, Lucas, that the clock had run.
I mean, I didn't vote for this, but, you know, it could be worse, you know. He could be doing this to, like, the fucking King of England, you know. That would be bad, okay? That we're fucking up relations in NATO, doing shit like that by taking the leaders that are in NATO countries, that would be bad. But South American countries that are ran by dictators, this is gonna be forgotten about. No, people are gonna stop caring about this, especially when the prices of stuff go up this year, thanks to the tariffs. I mean, they say that's gonna happen. I'm hoping it doesn't happen. I mean, prices have gone up a little bit here in the state where I live at, but not too much. You know, not much has really changed for us. For Venezuela, shit has changed a lot.
Out for Nicolas Maduro to come to the table despite that interview that he did. Lucas, we're just getting a tweet this morning from Senator Mike Lee, who is saying just got off the phone with Secretary Rubio. He informed me that Nicolas Maduro has been arrested by U.S. personnel to stand trial on criminal charges in the United States, and that the kinetic action we saw tonight was deployed to protect and defend those executing the arrest warrant. This action likely falls within the president's inherent authority under Article 2 of the Constitution to protect U.S. personnel from an actual or imminent attack. It's interesting as we read that, Lucas, the Vice President, Delcy Rodriguez of Venezuela, took earlier to state TV in Venezuela demanding proof of life of Maduro. But it's pretty apparent that it's unclear who is running that country right now. You're looking live at some of the strikes that were carried out there. Do we have any more indication about who is running the country there now, and whether or not any of the other individuals like the vice president and others associated with Maduro's regime may be targets still?
I wonder if the streets of Caracas are just fucking anarchy right now. Like, is there even like any rule of law right now with the leader of the country being taken away, or is the police doing anything, or is everybody acting normal? I highly doubt it. I wonder if there's like looting and everything. Look at this black smoke right here. Jesus Christ. Jesus. And I think this is like a big ass gap right here. Okay, so I'm assuming they wiped out all the lighting in this one area. Why? And it's like to capture one guy, where were they bombing? There's explosions over here, did they not know where he was at or something, or were they just hitting shit were they just like hitting military in these areas? Like there's a bunch of like a caravan right here, bow, there's a caravan right here, bow, and I don't know what the hell this is. I think that's another plume of black smoke, another pillar of black smoke, I should say. Another caravan here. Is this like the military trying to fight back, and then their shit just getting wrecked? Like, oh my heavens.
Notable that statement from Venezuela's vice president confirming the news from President Trump that President Nicolas Maduro and his wife were seized by that American assault force, likely either the Delta Force or SEAL Team 6, flown by the 160th Special Operation Aviation Regiment, the Night Stalkers, the most elite pilots in the world. It's notable we saw the video of those U.S. Army helicopters flying low over Venezuela under the cover of those airstrikes in darkness, that you didn't see any Venezuelan surface-to-air missiles or AAA anti-aircraft fire. And it's notable, Griff, that I spoke to Elliot Abrams, President Trump's former special envoy to Venezuela recently. He said this was a showdown between President Trump and Nicolas Maduro, and there could only be one winner. And that is why President Trump likely did not back down. You had this large military buildup in the Caribbean. You have about a dozen warships offshore. You have the USS Gerald R. Ford Strike Group that was rerouted from Europe, came to the Caribbean. You had the USS Iwo Jima.
I mean, it's like, no shit, Trump is gonna run that one. Like, you're going up against the U.S. If shit ever got too serious, right? If they're like winning a country with no nuclear bombs, we would have fucking nuked them. Okay, like that would not. You would have win either way. Okay, even if they did have a shot, all right, they would just got nuked out of a country at that point.
Amphibious assault ship. You have dozens of helicopters aboard there, of course, dozens of strike aircraft aboard Ford. You also had squadrons of F-35 stealth fighter jets from the Air Force that arrived in Puerto Rico in recent days, from the Air Force, including the Green Mountain Boys from Vermont. You also had the Marine Corps F-35 Bravo version also on the ground in Puerto Rico. She had this large armada and firepower assembled. You had KC-135 refueling planes in the Dominican Republic. President Trump offered no indication that he was backing down from his threat. And President Trump, when he makes these threats, typically follows through. And that's what we saw in the pre-dawn hours this morning. And again, there could only be one winner in this showdown, and it was not Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro, it appears.
So, Lucas, real quick, we understand that that this operation was successful and is over. But do you have the sense that it is, in fact, over with and the firefight is finished? And then where do we go from here?
Well, Charlie, the U.S. military likes to operate at night. The pilots would have night vision goggles. The assault force would have had night vision goggles. That is their primary, their perfect.
The military likes to operate at night, and we like to sneak up on their asses. All right, we don't want to, ruin your day, but we will fuck up your night. Jesus Christ. You hear that, it sounds like some pussy shit, but it's like, when you think about it, do you really want to start blowing up a city when people are outside watering their plants and shit? No, that's rude to the plants. Okay, you gotta come at night. All right, it'll wake some people up, but you're probably gonna get up and get a midnight snack anyways and go take a piss. All right, so it is what it is. You ain't doing shit else. You want to ruin someone's day at work? Okay, I need to quit with fucking jokes. All right, I'm sorry, but yeah, dude, this is a fucking crazy situation. The U.S., without congressional approval, invaded a South American country, and we have yet to see. And now we're waiting to see what happens with that country and what Trump plans to do with it, apparently. Yeah, so let me know what you think about all this in the comment section below. Leave a like and subscribe for more reaction content. And also let me know if you want any more political content. I will make it for you, but you got to subscribe. So, yeah, I'd have no problem with educating myself on this stuff, especially if you guys would help me along the way. So, yeah, thanks for watching. I'll see y'all next one.